Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I'm going to share a much requested video, and that is what we eat in a week lunch edition. So I shared a video several months ago on what we eat in a week, and it was the dinner edition. And then I did a breakfast one, and I had so many emails and comments and messages, requests for a lunch one. The reason I've hesitated to do this video is that my husband has been coming home from work for his lunch for the whole 10 years we've been married. He worked for the town that we live in, and so he would just pop by and have lunch. And also, obviously, I homeschool the kids. Usually our lunches tend to look more like typical dinner. It's just more of the same things that I make for dinner, I make for lunch. So I decided to kind of brainstorm some more lunchy ideas for you guys for this video. I pulled from some of my sourdough recipes, like sourdough tortillas and English muffins, as kind of the bread items to hold together some of these meals. The first day is more of a dinner style that you would eat with a fork, but then some of the other days it's ideas that are more like what we typically think of as lunch. So let me show you this what we eat in a week lunch edition, some healthy lunch ideas for your family. For the first day, I just threw a chicken in the oven and roasted it. And then I went out to my garden and collected some greens and herbs. I really like to put parsley and oregano and basil into my salad. I think it just adds so much flavor. For the dressing, I mixed together some organic mayo, heavy cream, salt, pepper, and then some of the fresh herbs from the garden. It makes a really nice dressing. And then we just serve that with some fermented cucumbers and cabbage, so sauerkraut and pickles. The next day, my husband and kids went out for the day, so I sent them with what we call a Continental Lunch. It's kind of like a continental breakfast, but it's just a bunch of cold things, which is why we call it that. So some sliced carrots, sliced pineapple, hard-boiled eggs, and then some of the leftover dressing from the day before to dip the carrots in, as well as some cheese, and I sent them on their way. The next day, I made something that my husband said was the best thing he ever tasted. It was chicken salad. I just mixed in some diced onions and peppers into the leftover chicken and some of that organic mayo, salt, pepper, fresh herbs, and then served it up on one of my homemade sourdough English muffins. You can find that tutorial. I will link it below on my YouTube channel. The next day we had really big salads, so again, more greens and herbs from the garden, hard-boiled eggs, sliced avocado, cheese, chicken, and then some more of the homemade ranch. The next day we made nachos. So I sauteed up some zucchini, yellow squash, and onions, and I put them over some pumpkin spice tortilla chips. The only thing I try to avoid in chips is bad oils and GMO corn. I topped the chips with the sauteed veggies and then some browned ground beef and cheese. After baking, I topped it with fresh cilantro, lime juice, and tomatoes. The next day, I used my homemade tortillas to make a honey mustard and cilantro chicken wrap. To make the honey mustard, I just mixed together equal parts of honey and mustard. The sweetness tastes really good on this wrap. purple cabbage, sliced avocados, salt, pepper, honey mustard, and cilantro make this a delicious lunch. For the final day, I just made something that we make all the time, and that's just kind of a Mexican lunch with chicken, veggies, avocado, cilantro, that kind of thing. I threw chicken legs in the Instant Pot for about an hour. They were frozen before, and so it cooks it really, really fast. I just popped them out of the package into the Instant Pot and cooked them for an hour. And then I served it alongside some homemade guacamole. Well, I hope that gave you some inspiration for lunch ideas. Some of them are definitely portable, on-the-go ideas that you can send with your little ones to school. I think even if you do the ones that have just chicken and some vegetables on the side, you can send a fork and they can chicken can be eaten cold, so it's not something that has to be heated back up, which I think is totally the goal, because if you are going to work or school and eating these lunches, obviously you don't really want to use a microwave, and so things that can be cold are of course great for lunches. What would you add? What do you do for lunch ideas on the go, and something that you can pack? Let me know in the comments below. This isn't an area I'm actually an expert in at all, because like I said, we eat all of our meals together here at home for lunch, so they can be hot. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living in a handmade home. Also, if you aren't a member of my subscriber library yet, hit up the link below. You'll receive a password in your email so that you can access the library that has all of my free ebooks and printables in one place, all things that help you to live a more natural and simple lifestyle. Thank you so much for stopping by the Farmhouse.